Hello all and welcome back. So in this video, let us now move forward and based on our discussion in the last video, let's try to implement a queue using the inbuilt list. So let's get started. Now again, because we have to restrict all the other operations, we will be making sure that we are making a class. Okay. Class is just a user defined data type, something which we have understood in OOPS. So I will be making my queue using this particular list. This particular class. So let us start everyone. First will be the constructor in which what I have to do, I have to just make my queue. Now I'm making it directly private so that no one else can access it from outside. We saw the same problem when we were defining our stack that self dot like our object dot stack. It can be used to access and then make changes, which is something which we don't want. Okay, great. So the very first function, let us define the size function. It's, I think, is the easiest. So we can just return here length of self dot queue. Okay, so what exactly is happening here, everyone? We are just finding the length of our this internal list which we are maintaining. For the end user, again, it won't matter what exactly is getting inside, how we are doing this. But I am making sure that I am just returning this length, which will represent the which will represent the size of my queue. Okay, great. Next one can be is empty. Again, one of the most easy function. So is empty can be self dot return. We can use size here. Okay, so what we can do is self dot size equals 0. So this is a good coding practice in a way that all our logic with respect to length will be kept here only. So if tomorrow, let's say in any case, a mistake is getting made, we don't have to check that logic at all places. We can just directly see if it is working fine here. Okay. Now, if you remember, we can write it like this as well. If self dot size equals 0, then you can return true. Else we can return false. So we saw this particular implementation as well in the stack case as well. So let me for the time being just comment it because I think the one which we have done is more cleaner to work with. Okay. So let me zoom out only. Yeah, cool. Great, everyone. So now let us write the next function, which can be enqueue. Enqueue. In enqueue, what we used to do, we used to push or add an element into my queue. So we will be getting a data here as well, right? So along with my enqueue self, which we will of course be getting, I will also be getting a data. So now let us see what we can do here. This I think also can be a lot easy. If I just do self dot queue dot append, I can just append this data and maybe return that we have added data to the queue. So we can print that out as well. Great. So till now we have done three operations, everyone. The one which we discussed. So enqueue, size, and is empty is done. Now let us work on front first, and then we will do the dequeue operation. Pretty sure all these operations were comparatively easy to implement. So I'm hopeful that each and every operation will be clear. We have just created an inbuilt list. We have made it private so that no one else can access it. And anyway, my user should not have this access. He should just be working with these 5 operations which we have discussed, right? So now let us move forward and see the front. So def front. So this method will give me the front of my queue. We will be getting the self, okay, and we have to return that element. Now the very first check, if self dot size. Again, I am not finding out the length again and again this time. In stack, I think we did that. Should be fine, but I want that my whole logic of finding out the length is just in this particular method. Okay. So this is also in line with a good coding practice DRY, that is do not repeat yourself. Okay. So yeah, if we can check that if it is 0, then what we should do, we should just return queue is empty, cannot show front, and we can return none. Okay. So I hope that is clear, everyone. If the queue is empty, how can we show the front who is in the front? It's just like asking there is no one standing and you are asking at the counter who is next. Okay. So if that is not the case though, we can just return which is present in the zeroth index. Something which we saw in the last video, how at the zeroth index, this particular will be the front of my queue, as we can see here as well. Okay. So I hope the front overall is also clear. Just we have returned the element which is at zeroth index. Def, now the next one, DQ, self. Again, I think I can copy this particular logic because if the size is zero, then again I cannot say or I cannot DQ, right? Cannot DQ. How can we remove if no one is there in my overall line? If I have someone, then only I can say that, hey, can you come next? Can you please get removed from this particular queue? If no one is there, of course, we cannot do that. So then let us see value to be returned. Actually, we can directly do q.pop as well. So let me do that only. We saw the same thing. Return self.q.pop and we can provide 0 here. Okay, so this can directly be done because this is going to return me an element which I have to just throw back. Now, if we don't want to do this, what we can do is we can say element to be dq. We can just directly call self dot front. So we are using this particular same function again, and I can just say self dot q dot pop 0. So I can write it like this as well, everyone. Let me just return element to be returned. Okay. So this is implementation in multiple lines, which I can also write, of course. No worries in that. Great. So I hope this is clear as well, everyone. Both the ways I have written this. The first one is just breaking down this operation into multiple lines. But we know that this pop, it returns me the element. And if I'm calling the return over it, the same value is going to just get returned. That is how our return works in a function. Okay. Great. So I think yes, that actually completes our implementation of queue using the inbuilt list. Because we have functions which are available in a list, right? Sorry, methods which are available in the list like pop, append. The overall works becomes a lot easy. Okay, great. So now let us check this out as well. Let's say I'm making a queue, which is queue using list. In my queue, let me enqueue 10, then let me enqueue 20, and then let me enqueue 30. Once this is done, let us print queue dot size, print q dot is empty, and print q dot front. Great. So I think all these operations are done. Let me just make it a method as well. Cool. Now let us pop. So we can print what we are returning in pop. Pop. Sorry, not pop. My bad. DQ. Okay. Great. So we have DQ'd this. Then let me DQ it 2 times. And then maybe we can print what is in my front again. Okay, so I hope all these operations are clear. So I have just made a scenario where we are using our queue. Let us see how it will actually, what should be the output overall. If I'm making my queue, okay, and I'm making this by a list, then I think something like this should happen. Great. So this is my list inbuilt which will be made. I'm enqueuing 10, 20, 30. So 10, 20, 30. Then I'm asking the size. So size should be 3. Then I'm asking if it is empty. Because size is 3, it should not be empty. So it will be false. Okay. This will be overall false. This will be 3. Again, it is very important that you first see what should be the output so that if it is wrong, you are aware that something went wrong. Okay. So that's why always I made sure whatever code we have written, we are checking it manually first because the manual check is the best check. You can, yes, you can run and write test and everything, but first let us see for a basic case even if it is working or not. Then the front of queue should, I believe, be around something. 1 second. 1 minute, everyone. So yeah, my bad. Cool. So the front of my queue as of now should be 10 because it was the first element to enter, 10, right? As you can see here. If we are dequeuing, it will pop 10 and 20, but remove them from my list as well, or rather the queue as well. Okay, great. And when I just ask for the front again, it should be 30. So this should be my answer, everyone. The one I feel. Let us now try to run this and see if we have written the implementation right. Hmm, 1 second. Let me run. Yeah, great. So let's see. 3 false, 10, 10, 20, 30. So seems to be right. Okay, just to quickly check what we can do. Q dot size. I think it should be 1, as we can see on right of us. So let me run this again. And I'm getting the size as 1. Okay. So great, everyone. I hope you were able to understand. Seems like our queue is working fine. We are able to do all these operations properly. So tomorrow, if you want to use this, this is a perfectly valid queue to be used for any question or any particular use case. Okay. So yeah, I hope that was clear, everyone. Please make sure that you try to just implement this once at your end as well. Okay, that would be a lot important. Again, the overall benefit of using inbuilt list is that we have basically used these functions, right? They use the methods of my list, which were these uh pop, append, all these were given to me, right? These self.queue length, and then I was able to quickly enqueue using this append. I was similarly able to just directly dequeue using this pop. Okay. So all these were the beneficial to me in a way that I am able to directly use them. So please make sure that you are able to try to just implement it once. And let's meet in the next video to see if there is some other way we can implement our queue as well. Okay. Thank you.